I have with me Armonistan. So, hello there. How are you doing?
Hello, sir. I'm doing pretty well.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. So, uh, how about you tell us about what it is you do on Anbennar and yeah, what? Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So, my name is Armand. I am the Cannor lead for Amadar EU4. I started back in about 2022 whenever I was interested in like furthering the Deepwoods and finding out that why is the portal not accessible,
Yeah.
as did many people. That was kind of where I got my start. Um, And after about a year and a half of working in the deep woods and hanging out with Jay and all the other folks, I actually got promoted to lead in December of 2023.
Oh,
So
very
I've been
nice.
lead for about So I've been lead for about 4ish months.
Okay.
And during that time, I've been working very hard with the team to dispel the concept of the infamous Canor lock. We are in fact a fully functional battle station.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
how much I would call it a myth, considering how there's not been a whole lot of like new mission trees and such going on for Canor for I think as long as I've been like really invested into the mod. But hey, if that has been dispelled, myth or not, then that's very good to hear for me at least.
I mean, fair enough. Very fair enough. The very first thing I wanted to do was to add a mission tree to the deep woods, and I was firmly rejected. We'll say that.
Fair.
So, you're not wrong. But I guess it's to say that Canor is on the move once more, and that we are looking to, catch up for lost time.
That's fair. Because from my experience, like I have played in Canor with I imagine the majority of my games, but I feel like the majority of people probably share that sentiment. And for me, the mission trees there, they do seem like they were made a long time ago. There is certain things that Anbennar is doing nowadays that are just like a little bit more advanced, a little bit more things going on. So is it going to be the case that you're looking at countries that don't have mission trees and giving them them, or are you also going to go back and say refresh mission trees that are kind of showing their age?
Yeah. So, yes, and I guess would be the corporate term. But So definitely between whenever people were kind of learning how to mod in Anbennar, learning how to organize, as well as just not having as many fun tools in the toolbox, because boy, has a lot of things happened at EU4 over the last, 10 years. I don't know how old this game is now.
Yeah.
Um, so definitely that like recognition that things are older. Our like driving principle is about building the world
Right.
and about making sure that whatever we add is not just okay. This is adding for EU4 because this thing called Project Caesar is coming, and EU4 will not last forever. Um, but at the same time, recognizing that hey, like whenever you have national ideas and the big tags of Canada, like Laurent or Wex have like 2 sentence national ideas, and like these are flagship tags, right?
Yeah.
That's not going to fly anymore. So certainly, I would say that we're focused kind of on both, meaning that we want our cake and eat it too,
Yeah.
and adding and refreshing content.
Okay.
Um, yeah, yeah.
Are there any tags that you're I don't know. I don't know if you're able to like say, "Oh yes, we're working on this tag. It's going to be really cool. Look out for it in a couple of months." Is there anything like that that you can like point us towards to keep an eye on?
Certainly. So right now we're focused on Escann, and so refreshing like the national ideas for the various orcs, actually giving them lore and not just being like random, go and die tags. Or I guess in this case, since orcs are so powerful, they go and kill
Yeah,
everything and don't do
true.
anything.
That's actually
um,
depressingly so.
but with that SCAN kind of Eastern focus at the moment, we do have kind of two other fronts going, which is Grudy and the Deepwoods. And we've actually
Okay.
had like a province refresh. We're adding
Yes.
like forest trolls and like Valkyrie harpies and Garudia. In the Deepwoods, the orcs are finally getting mission trees directly, like not just like, oh, you play and kill everything and then become emerald orcs or industrial
Right.
orcs.
Right.
Um, So that's kind of us, getting our foot in the door. When it comes to like mission trees, one of my teammates is making something for Kevin Blood.
Okay.
There's also a couple of other ones, like for Aryan. And then I think there was at least one at one point a proposal for Wyvenheart as well, which was like the Homelander country, essentially, is what Jay was wanting to go with it. So that's on that front, kind of where we're going at the moment.
I
Once, yeah, go on.
definitely excited for the Wyvernheart, because is that not the canon tag that actually wins like Northern Escann and
Yes.
exists in Victoria 3? But
Mhm.
doesn't have any content for it. It felt a little bit strange to me.
Yeah, exactly. So Wyvern Heart actually kind of had a reconceptualization last year
Okay.
where I think the old was kind of like it was, they're vermin, right? Verman, I guess it's not vermin. I'm using the American pronunciation. They're brave, brave like great man theory kind of style, like origins.
Yeah.
But like with many things in Escann, like what happens when you pervert that, right?
Hmm.
And the idea being that like you're going to have like super soldiers, and the whole idea of the great man is like, yeah, if I'm the best, then like who else, no one else matters.
Right.
And that's kind of represented the most, and there's actually a major character in the timeline, named the regent of Wyvernheart, who is effectively is Camir, the guy who unites Escann's rival.
Okay.
And so exploring all of that and like what does that mean, is definitely something we're looking forward to doing.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, getting more content for the tags that have none right now, especially something that sounds that cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
yeah. Now, of course, we know that Escan probably has like some more fresher content. People like love Estile's mission tree, and so forth. We will be shifting over to Westcann the second half of the year.
Okay.
And yeah, and the focus, and this is where the conversation or the idea of coming back to Westcan came out of the Halfling Revolt, right? The small country,
Yeah.
and how like they don't really show up, and when they do, it's like whatever.
Right.
People are like, oh, we should just add this or tweak this. I'm like, no, if we're going to do it, we're going to go and overhaul all of it.
Okay.
And yeah, and at that point, the people got pretty excited, and I have a couple folks who are focused on the Atlantic Reach and Lincolnor, and so
Okay.
they're like, hey, can we like reimagine those areas and like refresh the content there? I'm like, yeah, we'll do a holistic like all of like the western part of Canor. We're going to be shifting over there and really taking a closer look on bring that fantasy back out now that we have so much experience and so much energy on the team.
Okay, that's awesome. Small Country definitely felt like a tag that, yeah, they do nothing, and then as soon as the Small Country revolts happen, a bunch of tags join the Small Country, a bit like the Netherlands, and then they exist. Um,
Exactly.
so yeah, okay. So what exactly is going to be the? I say exactly. Yes, tell me your exact plans down to the final, squiggly bracket. No, but what are the like concepts and such that are going to go into Small Country to make them different to how they are now?
So I'll be honest, we're pretty far out from that at the moment. I've kind of tasked the team to think about it while
Right.
we're getting our bearings. Again, talking about that content drought in Canor that I was trying to mythologize, but it did exist.
Yeah.
We kind of have to build up those skills and build up the new team, because a lot of the old guard that made Canor have moved on,
Right.
and so now it's up to us new folks to carry the torch.
Right. Okay.
Um, but certainly, I think that like the limit pushing that you see in like Hallis, or what you'll probably come and see in Starhole, or the Adventure rework and Magic rework,
Yeah.
um, you should expect that for Westcan. Those are the standards we expect.
Okay. That's exciting. That is very exciting because, like I said, Canor is like the flagship area of the mod, and yeah, it has felt it's lagging behind a little bit. So getting that fresh energy into it sounds like a great thing.
Of
Uh,
course, that's why the vanilla game is called Cannor Universalis.
yes, for sure. Vanilla is just alt history for Anbennar. That's the way it is.
True.
All right. So other
Um,
than Small Country, are there any other tags there that you've got some interesting ideas for?
Yeah, so when it comes to like right now, at least for myself personally, aside from leading the team, I am focused on my origin, which is the Deepwoods.
Right. Yeah.
And so those who are playing the Bitbucket might have noticed the Deepwoods got about 75% increase, 50% increase in provinces,
Yeah, they did.
which has really kind of changed up the dynamic. Before you could unite the Deepwoods in, I don't know, like 5 years if you're experienced in it and got the right roles. And it's become a lot more dynamic and harder to like just win.
Right.
Now, the purpose of that was to kind of give room for like multiple tags rising up, and also to give room for a more dynamic situation.
Right.
What we're going to be looking towards, at least I'm looking towards, is giving like a refresh to the Emerald Orc and Industrial Orc. So, like the Emerald Orcs, okay, they go and conquer and have the World Tree, but they kind of have a little bit of a like do or die mentality, and if you fall behind, you're kind of done. And of course, if they're going to be, championing the Fae, well, there's Fae courts halfway across the world. Why are they not showing them the righteous path?
Right. Okay.
Are you familiar with Ublig, the goblin?
Ublig's child. I have seen them in games that I've played, but I've never actually played as them.
So Ublig is actually a very popular goblin amongst the community because he works with Corin to free the Deepwoods from the Verdant Vale.
Right.
And he makes pacts with the Fae.
Okay.
Well, at the moment, there's no mechanic around that, no content about like what happens to the tag and all. So the forest goblins are actually next after the orcs to get content. They're going to build into like a patron system, and really tie into exploring what it would be like to have a pseudo-communistic Fae related tag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some interesting concepts coming in there. Then let's. I say I could be potentially described as a goblin active hater. I don't. I'm trying to think of all the games I've played in Anbennar. I don't think I've ever actually played any goblin tag.
We're going to have to fix that, obviously.
I feel like I've never played goblins. I've also never played an orc tag.
What? Really? How in the world?
Clearly I am just a, humanity supremacist or something. I don't know. Or, humans, elves, gnomes, dwarves. I mean, give me my enlightened races, I guess.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, there's no real way of saying this that out of context sounds remotely acceptable. But we're talking. Oh no! Wait, no. Yes. My chat is pointing out. I played DAC. I played Chain Grasper.
Okay, there we go.
Day one, I went Undead Army, so I don't know how Goblin we're really talking here, but yes, I did play Chain Grasper.
I mean, it's pretty goblin to have some kind of army that's pretty expendable.
Very true. Yes, skeletons are just very thin goblins.
It's honestly very progressive of you, because like they can't even feel the pain anymore. You've made it better for them.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not going to ask anyone living to serve in the army because you'll die, right?
Exactly.
So how about you work your fingers to the bone, and then I take those bones and I use them after. It's clearly just a win-win for everyone involved.
Damn, this guy knows.
Okay, so all right. So is Ublig's Child then getting an update then, or is that content already in?
It's not in yet. There is plenty of work to do, but yes, Ublig's Child will be getting content updates. I'll probably tie it in with whenever the patron update comes out.
Okay.
To really kind of like showcase the mechanics.
Okay. So maybe that'll be my first step into being an actual goblin tag.
There you go. That's exactly. Don't ignore the Dwarvar. Don't worry about all the good work they're doing there. Stay in Canor and you'll be well rewarded.
Fair enough. Well, I am playing in Canor right now in the multiplayer I'm in because if you're working on Canor, clearly you gotta have to look at the gnomes, the gnomish hierarchy. They're so weak. They definitely need just a giga buff like right now. Definitely
Hmm.
something that you should be definitely looking into, preferably before my current campaign ends, and we can, you know. No, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the changes for sure. Always.
Absolutely. And to that point, when we talk about like that holistic rework, you mentioned the gnomes, but you forgot their wonderful counterparts, the kobolds, as well.
Yeah,
Um,
never played as the kobolds either.
fun fact: there is no lore on the kobolds like before 1444. Like literally, we were looking to update the national ideas to prepare for the Westcann focus,
Uh-huh.
and we're like, who are the greenscales? And then everyone kind of shrugged, like, all right, I guess we're figuring this out.
Okay. I know the gnomes have some lore to do with the kobolds, like kicking them out of the uh, Dragon Coast. But for the kobolds themselves to not have that lore, seems a bit strange for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's peacefully relocating them to their mountain homes is what they do.
Oh yes, that's exactly what I did in my gnome playthrough. I relocated all of them to Deep Kobolderd. I just have had every single kobold just very peacefully and totally not evilly marched over to Deep Kobolderd. So I made that like 30 production development, and then I accepted them. It was a feat. It was certainly a feat.
A feat, all right. That's one description of it.
Yes. Totally not analogous to any situation that's ever happened anywhere else ever, for sure.
No, no. Obviously in Anbennar, there's only rainbow and sunshine,
Naturally,
and
they got gnomed. That's just the way of it.
yes, get gnomed. That's exactly it. But
They got gnomed.
absolutely, when you call out like the hierarchy, needing to get refresh in the content, that goes back to like, if we're gonna go into an area, we don't want to just like refresh the mission tree. Like let's get some memorable experiences that introduce some cool characters, because half the charm of Anbennar, well, really more of it, is the world itself, right?
Yeah,
Like we
yeah.
want the world and the IP essentially to grow and blossom, to be a place where you can explore. We were talking about your favorite game, Victoria 3. We want to be able to explore that and really build into it. Or if we go back into Crusader Kings, and make it a place where you want to be.
Yeah. Um, that's yeah. As well, it sort of ties back into the idea that Anbennar itself started as like D&D campaign, and had this world is kind of made from like the bones of D&D.
Mm-hmm.
And that's D&D is all about making stories. So having the various tanks that you play have stories to tell is the way forward in my eyes.
Absolutely. Um,
All right. If there is anything else you want to like shout out, or anything that you want to like point attention to, I guess it's time to do it.
I would say, yeah, if there's two things that people are listening out to, one is going back to us really looking to be willing to rework and like refresh things, was the trade rework. So you'll notice that Dame's Crown is no longer the monolith of doom. There's actually been a breakdown of that node into three competing ones.
Right.
So
That is something I
yeah,
wanted to talk about as well that I completely forgot to touch on. Yes, the trade rework. Like I say, I've played with the trade rework now in a multiplayer campaign, and in my opinion, it is a huge improvement. I am a
awesome.
big fan of just the way that it's split up. Sure, we have still have an end node, but everything that feeds into the end node is so strong in and of itself that that end node
Hmm.
can often not be stronger than the places that feed into it. So yeah, that is it. Was it you that came up with the idea for that? Because pat on the back, in my opinion,
Oh,
it's so good.
well, I would love to take credit. No, I helped like with the kind of organization, but it was actually Brosar and the balance team who really drove that. And God, the number, like there's a balance channel in the server. And at one point, it was just the Cannor rework channel is all it was, the Cannor trade rework channel. Like they ran so many games There were some awesome contributors who like made Excel sheet. We had like hundreds of test games where people were like, all right, what's the value? Is this good? What happened to the hierarchy? What happened to Laurent? Like so many scenarios. So
Nice.
just kudos to those guys. I just so happened to be at the head of the team when that happened.
Mhm.
But I'm elated that you've enjoyed it. There was a fair bit of blood, sweat, and maybe a few tears whenever we were making that.
Escann is another one that got updated as well
Yeah,
relatively recently. This is way better as well. It
yeah.
is,
You actually have trade in Escann now.
yeah, crazy. If only the one place that I really want them to have a look at changing now is Hales. Obviously, that's not part of your team, but um, if you start in high ban, it's awful, and no one enjoys the trade in high ban. You have to either go into the Gulf of Rahan or just be poor. But no, that's fantastic
Well,
rework. I think in that one.
thank you, and I'll put in a good word to see what our my Hellas friends are up to, see if they want to follow our lead on trade rework.
Yeah,
Going back to I think the last thing to call out for those who love the world of Anbennar, some of the team also spent a lot of their life. We'll just leave it a lot of life. Won't quantify it on the Escann timeline. And so there is actually a 1444 to 1836 timeline for Escann, where it has all the drama, all the ups and downs of
nice.
what happens in the world, and maybe even some foreshadowing on what kind of mission trees we're going to be looking at in the future.
Oh, cool. And is that found on the wiki, or where can I have a scan
Yeah,
of
so
that?
it's on. So we have begun the process of transcribing this unholy Word document into the wiki. If you go to the Escann wiki page, you'll actually start to see. So you'll get to know the fate of Rogeria, for instance, or the fate of what we call the Ducan's son, because Corcus Ducan's son had a son, and
Okay.
he does some pretty badass things too. But the rest of it, if you want to know the full story, you can just hop on the Discord and check out the relevant Canor thread.
Okay. But definitely be doing that. Oh, nice. They've got Escann in early 1500s here. And yeah, it's like the three tags that immediately jump out to me on this image is Alanor, Wivenheart, and Covenblad, all of which
Mm-hmm.
right now have no content but are the canon like winners. So yeah, seeing them get some love will be so nice.
Absolutely.
All
For
right.
you and for everyone else.
Yes. I mean, I recently had a foray into Escann that did not go entirely to plan, but maybe I'll go back there when some of the when there's a bit of new, fresh content there for me.
I look forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming to chat with us. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. Anytime.
Cheers.
All right. Bye bye. All right, that was Armonistan, the Canor lead. Canor lock officially unlocked. We love it. We absolutely love it.